Good morning for the Vision. Welcome to this edition of the Vision Alignment Show. I'm so glad you could join us this morning. Oh, we've got a big day going on today, and then we've got some other things that are going on at the end of this week. I want you to stick around until the end of this video, and I'm going to talk to you about what's going on Friday. So Friday is a big day, and we have a great guest coming on. So can't tell how excited I am to have this guest. Anyway, what we have going on today is more, and look at me. I've got a coat on and everything, a nice jacket. I look all official. But the whole idea of this is a dress rehearsal. So this is the day before a big speech that I'm going to be giving to the Women for Economic and Leadership Development. So that's going to be tomorrow that I'm going to be doing this speech at noon. So looking forward to that, looking forward to sharing with all of them the whole process of going from blindness to sight to vision, and how important it is for us all to understand that we need to embrace our own personal blindness to achieve a greater vision for our lives. That's really the whole idea of what I do and what I help people with, is that blindness. Now, blindness doesn't always mean that it's negative. Blindness can be positive as well. So you have to think of the effect that you're having on different people. Think of the effect that Jess told me, my daughter, in her letter. She told me that I was having on other people that I didn't realize, and the effect that I was having on her. So a lot to be said there for that whole piece and what's going on for the speech tomorrow. So that's why I'm all fancied up and ready to give this speech. I actually have presented it once already this morning. I'm going to go through the different timings of the stories. There's a lot that goes into being a speaker, and the timing of the stories to make sure that I'm delivering what I can and having the best impact that I can, but also that I don't run over and I don't run short. So a lot that goes into being a speaker. It's not an easy as you might think. So having a gift for gab is one thing, but actually being able to say something to people to help them to be able to overcome their own blindness is then a phenomenal part of this. So I can't tell how proud I am to have a coach that has helped me through all this. So having said that, there are maybe some people online here. No, I don't see anyone online yet. But if you're joining us, please put in a hashtag live and tell me where you're coming in from. And then also, if you're listening to this in a replay, put in a hashtag replay and where you're coming in from as well. And it looks like I do have somebody here. Let's see, Mr. Mark Husick. Good morning, Mark. How are you this morning? It's good seeing you. So thank you for joining us. Now, anybody else that's listening in, put in a hashtag live. And also, if you wouldn't mind, please share these videos with other people. Let them know, what it is that we're doing, how important what we're doing is to be able to help other people, to grow, help other people to understand their purpose, and help other people to really start to do something with that. Now, I can't tell how important that is. So let's continue to have that conversation. So the whole message here is, do you want to learn how to be average, or do you want to learn how to be awesome? Well, we are all awesome in our own right, but we don't always step into that. So if we can learn how to step into our own awesomeness, that's really what's going to make the big difference for us all, is to understand our awesomeness. But you can understand your awesomeness, but it'd be a lot easier if you understood yourself first. So understanding yourself, is that self-awareness really is an important part of this. Now, you need to understand yourself, but you can't understand yourself on your own. You have to look at other people. You have to reach out to other people and begin to get feedback from them. And once you get feedback from them, then you have to accept it and you have to embody it and do something with it. So that's why we have a thing called WINK. And WINK is the acronym for what it is we talk to organizations about all over the place. And the WINK is, why is it important to understand what makes you unique? And the I is for intentionality and really being intentional with what makes you unique. Because, once we understand what makes us unique, we understand what our purpose is and what we're trying to achieve. So, we may be trying to achieve, being positive for other people, which is what I am. We may be trying to achieve, losing weight, or we may be trying to, get more healthy. All those things are great, but you need to understand that there's going to be distractions. There are going to be times where it's not easy to remain positive. So for me, I have to be intentional. I have to be, when I come downstairs first thing in the morning, I have to be intentional with not watching the TV, not watching the news, because that will lead me astray. It'll make me negative. It'll have a negative impression on me and my day. So another important part of that is also to be able to have a new way of thinking. So, for me, a new way of thinking is a little bit like my office. My office used to be on the other side of this wall. It was about 100 square foot. And I'm walking around one day with a tape measure, and I'm measuring, different things. And Connie looks at me and she's like, "What are you doing?" So, well, I'm measuring different rooms so I can figure out where I'm going to put my office. She said, "No." She's awesome. She's like, "Why don't you just use the other space on the other side of the wall? The wall in here. So versus having a 100 square foot spot versus a 300 square foot spot is a pretty big difference. So now I'm able to present, I'm able to stand, I'm able to have conversations with people, and it's been a phenomenal treat that she just gifted me that I had no idea. And then, by the way, she helped to paint this place. She helped to, make sure we got new carpet. She did a 180 with my desk and allowed me to, instead of hitting my head on a soffit, I get to look at a soffit, which you can't even see. But all this because I had a new way of thinking. I had a new way of looking at my circumstance. And I had other people with me that helped me to have this new way of thinking. So again, you can have that as well. Now, who else is joining us here? Let's see, Wes White, my old buddy Wes. Thank you for joining, Wes. I love you, man. You're doing a great job, and I appreciate all your posting that you're doing. And then he also indicated that, so I didn't even tell you. Make sure you got a Wink workbook. Wink workbooks are available at that site that Wes has up there, Brian Wagner. It's brianwagner.podia.com/Wink workbook. And there's a hyphen in between Wink and workbook. So take a look at that, download that, get it for yourself. And that's going to help you so you can use that day after day. You can call it a journal if you want. But what it's going to help you is, for one, to understand that there is something that you want to do, that you want to have a focus on. I know you do, because I have same things. There's something that I want to make part of my morning routine. I want to be habitual about it. Well, I mean, for me, it's being habitual about having a positive attitude. What is it about you? What do you want? So is it, the losing weight or getting healthy, or, maybe there's something else in your world that you want to make sure that you just make yourself that to other people. You want to make sure that this is going to be a habit for you. You're going to do this day after day. So write that down. Write that down in the workbook. And then the second page of the workbook is talking about what gets in the way. What prevents you from getting to that? And then the next piece, and write that down as well. Because when you name that thing, you name that obstacle, then you're going to be able to do something about it. So then after that, write down what you're going to do about it. How are you going to work around that obstacle that is preventing you from seeing? Now, for me, positive personality, how I worked around that news issue, I stopped watching the news. Now, I watch it to some degree in the afternoon and maybe in the evening, but not very much. I have a very metered sense of how I watch the news. So for you, think of how you can get around your issue, your obstacle. If it's French fries, you go to places where they don't serve French fries. If you want to make sure that you have a good vegetable, go someplace where they have steamed vegetables or whatever kind of vegetables you like. So that's really important, is when we have that urge, that necessity, if we think, and we are in a spot where we can't take advantage of it, we don't want to take advantage of it, we can allow ourselves not to take advantage of it, then we can get going forward with what it is we want to do, with what we want to have. Instead of going to bed at the end of the day and thinking, man, this was awful. I watched the news all day and I feel terrible, or I ate French fries twice today, or I did something else where you just feel awful. You feel terrible. Now, don't beat yourself up about that, but go back to the Wink Workbook. And the Wink Workbook is going to help you to stay on track. That's what this is all about, staying on track. And I'm going to help you to do that. Now, I'm not sure what else we can say about that, but really the K, I want to talk a little bit about the K. And the K is for kinesthetic. We all have a need to take action. We all have a need to do what we're say we're going to do, but also to understand that our actions have an impact on people. And as you write your stuff down in the Wink Workbook, you're going to begin to understand that taking that action, writing that down, or actually going to places where they don't serve French fries, going to places where they don't serve a cold beer, if that's an issue, going to places where you can work out. Putting yourselves in the right space is a big part of having success. If you put yourself in a wrong space with the wrong crowd, with the wrong people, then you're going to go down the wrong path, the path you don't want to go down. But it's going to be easy because you're already there. So come back to the Wink Workbook, focus on what you want to focus on, and think about those things that are getting in your way, and then begin to think how you can get around those. So important lesson to learn. So that is how you be awesome. You can be awesome by focusing on your strengths, not on your weaknesses. Focus on what you have that you want to get better at. And even though you're still great at it now. So again, thank you all for joining. I can't tell you how happy I am that you joined here today. We've had a great little session where we talked a little bit about how important it is to know what makes you awesome, but also how do you continue to be awesome and not be average. I don't want to see you be average. I want to see you be awesome in everything you do. Thank you very much for joining. I appreciate your time today. Oh, by the way, the one thing I told you we were going to talk about. This Friday, we have a special guest coming on. His name is Michael Ray. And Michael Ray is responsible for the Louisville Smile Project. And it's all about helping people to be so happy that when other people see you, they become happy too. That's what he does. He is a great inspiration. He has his daughter, Maggie, along with us. She's a nonverbal and autistic, I believe. So just a great girl. She's helps him out so much and continues to pour into people, both Maggie and Michael. And they're going to be, at least Michael will be with us here on Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern. So I hope you can join us. Thank you very much. And as always, keep one eye on the road. Bye.